All right, let's get to my first guest of the evening from Nashville Entertainment Weekly. Joined with Brandon Lee. He's on the phone right now. How's it going?
How you doing, man? Thanks for having me.
I'm doing real good. Thank you for being on the show, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, brother. It's an honor to be on here.
Absolutely, man. So, you got some music out. You definitely been putting in the work. And we'll get to your music and what you have in store in a matter of moments. But let's go back to the early stages of your career. How did you get started into music? And how did it start off for you?
Oh yeah, man. It's a crazy story, but I love to share it. So it all started in I was real big into wrestling when I was in high school, and wrestling was pretty much like my life. I had some scholarships and stuff waiting. It was my senior year, and I ended up getting hurt, man. I suffered a brain injury. I had two consecutive concussions within a week. And when I tell you I was I was gone. I mean, I couldn't remember my mother's name in the hospital. It was awful. And when that happened, I felt like I lost everything. And it was so bad. I had missed half of my senior year of high school. I lost everything for wrestling. I couldn't wrestle again, and I was stuck in a dark room. I was in my room. I couldn't watch TV. I couldn't play video games. I couldn't see my friends. So if you can imagine a 17, 18-year-old boy, not being able to do anything, it'll drive you crazy. And so that's where I kind of found music, was listening to like older country music, because they tell a story. Anybody who's listening to older music, you can listen and you can feel the sorrow, you can feel their emotions, and you can tell what they're trying to talk about. And that's where I got into. I would just throw on like Travis Tritt or Keith Whitley radio on Pandora, and I would just listen for hours and hours to older country music. And that's where I kind of found that passion for it. And then years later, I just kind of picked up and said, you know what, I think I want to sing. And I tried a song, and next thing you know, I was just singing. I was doing some Facebook stuff, and then all of a sudden, man, it just took off. And it's been a blessing.
Yeah, so I'm looking at your bio, and it's the wrestling definitely incredible. With all the success that you had, you won some medals from regional and national wrestling competition, way towards a scholarship. Man, you was a beast.
Yeah,
10 years. So it definitely felt like, okay, you got something going here, and you feel like this may be your calling. Might be a wrestler, you might be a professional wrestler for all I know. But things happen in life, and you had an unfortunate moment, and it was a scary time, and people wonder like how you gonna respond to it, how you gonna react to it, and what's plan B going to be if the wrestling thing doesn't work out, and you find and you went the music route, and that and it took off for you. So it's the fact that you're alive, man, that you've made it through that adversity is incredible within itself, and you found something else that you wanted to do, and you're going forward with that. So that's incredible. Props to you, man.
thanks, brother.
So you talk about country music, Travis Tritt, and some other old school artists. I got a chance to play one of your songs earlier. The song that I play is Hurricane, which is through your YouTube. You did a music video for that, and it sounds incredible. Just an incredible song. It was well sung. It was well written. The music video looks amazing as well. Talk about shooting that music video, man. How did it feel just to put that song out and have a visual for it?
Oh yeah, man. So I got very lucky to work with some awesome videographers and everything, and it was we recorded it out at the Dark Horse in Franklin, and it was so cool, man. I got to use my brother's truck for the video. It was it was such a like if you would have asked me, 2 years ago if I thought I'd be writing music and putting out a music video, I would tell you you're crazy. But just the help of like some amazing people being able to put those edits and the stuff that they want you to step here or do this and you look at it and you're like, that's crazy, I don't want to do that. And then when they put this stuff together, man, it's like watching a movie, and it comes together so amazing. And I mean, it's one of those things you go step by step, and you sometimes like I felt so silly doing it all because it was my first music video ever, and I was nervous and stuff. And next thing you know, like I'm putting all this together, and we're putting this video together, and I mean watching it back, and it's amazing how you can do something like that. And like I said, it's definitely a blessing to have the people that I've had. I mean, some professional people, man, that really help you bring your stuff to life. That's for sure. And it's always good to have somebody that knows what they're doing.
Yeah, that's the thing about music. Obviously, you write the songs, you sing them, you perform them. Music is a collective effort. I mean, you got producers, you got songwriters, you got videographers, you got all sorts of people that plays a role into bringing your music to life. And Hurricane, that's such an incredible song. I had to play it on these airways. It's such an awesome song. So I live in Kentucky, and I see that you was at the Nashville Talent Showdown, and you took first place at the Kentucky Regionals. Um, and that is where your journey into music took off. Um, One thing about you, man, whatever you touch turns to gold. You win. So you are literally a winner, dog. So go back to that showdown. What was it like getting to be a part of that competition, and you ended up taking first place at the regionals? How did that feel?
Oh man, that like you said, that's what started it all. It was that right there was what jumped the journey. And it's a funny story because at that point I was doing like little Facebook videos and stuff like that, and I had a we had a real good family friend who knew one of the judges. She liked watching him and stuff like that, and he was going to be one of the judges there. And she said, you know what? If you don't sign up, I'm going to sign you up. And so I was like, there's no way I'm good enough to do that stuff. And that's what she told me. If you don't sign up, I'm signing you up. So I was like, you know what? I mean, what do I have to lose? So I signed up for the competition, and I went in. And I mean, I can still remember to this day sitting in the back room. The room was right behind the stage that everybody was performing on. And I mean, I was hearing these people that they had their own music, they had amazing songs, they were all playing awesome instruments. I mean, it was everybody was fabulous. And all I could think, I'm sitting in the back listening, and all I could think was, there's no way that I can compete with this. Like everybody is so amazing. And I was so humbled there. And when I got out there and performed, somebody came back and was just like, "Look, man, I heard your warm up and your mic check, and man, you've got a good voice. Like you might be able to do it." And I'm just like, "Yeah, you're crazy, man." I was like, "Did you hear everybody else?" And it got to me, and they were just like, you got to really act like this is your performance. Make it your own, no matter what anybody else thinks, and always have. And so I went out there and I gave it everything I had, and I ended up winning. And I mean, it was so humbling knowing that everybody else was so good, and then I won. And that's what really, it almost gave me the confidence to really start doing it, and it made me realize how passionate I really was at that point. And it was such an amazing feeling knowing that I could compete at that level. And I met some amazing people going through that road too. It was such a blessing.
That's awesome, man. Every now and then, you just need surround yourself with people that's going to encourage you. Like, look, man, you have something in you. You got this talent. Go for it, man, and just see it where it takes you. And it's definitely good to have those people, whether it's family or friends. Like people, you got people that's gonna beat around the bush and everything. But when they really see something, they see that talent, they hear that voice. It's like, man, you should be going places with that voice, man. Go to this competition and let's see. And turned out to be the right decision. You ended up winning the whole thing, and your music and your career definitely you know pushed forward since then. So, and I see that you are working on your debut album. It is set to be released this year. It was recorded by Grammy nominated producer Kent Wells. And so, talk about recording this album and what's it like to have a guy like Kent Wells collaborating with you for this debut album.
Oh man, that right there on its own was so amazing. And I'll start off with Kent. Kent is such an amazing guy. You meet Kent when I first met him, and I found out like who he was and what he really meant, and what he really was about behind Dolly, and his work with Reba and all those people. And here I am, nobody, and I was like out of my mind, and he was interested in working with me, and I was just like, "There's no way." But when I first met him, man, he is the most laid back, down to earth guy. He is so easy to work with. And man, he makes everything. Anybody who has the chance to work with that man, I recommend it. Because he has been one of the biggest helps in my journey. And that is no lie. He has been one of the nicest guys that I've met. He's went above and beyond to help me with everything. But he does. He makes everything so simple, and he's just right there for you the whole time. But it's been such an amazing journey, man. Running through this music that we wrote, and just meeting the people that I got to write with. I've wrote with some awesome artists and people that have wrote songs for, Jason Aldean and Blake Shelton. And I mean, it's amazing knowing that I got to sit down and experience that. And it was so cool the way that all of this, because at this point I'd never really made my own music. I've never sat down and tried to do stuff like that. So seeing the way that they almost like bring these stories to life, it is the wildest thing you could ever do. And every time you sit down with somebody different, the way that you come up with it is different. So it's like the coolest thing ever because no matter what you're doing, you're always writing something different in a whole different manner. And it's just amazing seeing how people can bring stuff like that to life with you about your life and your feelings and what you want. And it's so cool. But the album has been all the songs that we wrote with them, and man, it is coming out this year. We've got one song released so far, which is "Don't Get Any Closer," or "If You Get Any Closer," and that was with Bridget Tatum, and she is an amazing writer. And the album will be released this year. We don't have a set date as of now, but we'll be definitely releasing them all by the end of this year. And man, if you want to just listen to the music or anything like that before they're fully released, you can hop on the website or anything, and we've got all the songs on there. You can listen to them. But as of right now, only one is fully released, but you can definitely listen to all of them. But that album will be out. You can buy the CD. You can order it online and listen to all the songs and everything. But it is one of the craziest things. That has to be one of the highlights of this whole journey, getting to make that album and bring all my feelings and everything and my music to life on that CD. It has been the biggest emotional support right there. Like, that is the coolest thing that anybody can do, is bring stuff like that to life. And you can write your own music and all that, or sing your own songs, and you feel them. That's your emotion. But when you have somebody that can put that stuff together like they do in a studio and really just bring everything to you, it's an amazing feeling listening back to something like that. But it has been an amazing journey, and that's definitely one of my biggest highlights for sure, is making that album.
With Kent Wells, you brought up that he's worked with Reba, with Dolly, and so many other household names in country music. What I like about a guy like Kent Wells, he's also willing to work with an up and comer artist like yourself, and put this album together. So it is going to be a fun album, I believe. After what I've heard from you already, you can check out some of the music on his website at BrandonLeeMusic1.com. That's Brandon Lee Music One, as in the number one.com, and check out his music, check out the videos, check out the shows that he's going to be performing. He's coming to a city near you, and the social media feeds is on there as well. So I see you got Facebook Live coming up. You're gonna be at Sweezy Pub. You're gonna be at the River Bluff Park. Those days are yet to be determined, but stay tuned for those dates, and go check out Brandon Lee. The album is coming. But the good thing about your website, Brandon, is that people can get a glimpse of it right now. Let's see, you got about 6 songs on your website that people can listen to in its entirety. And you already got a song out on all the platforms, so that's awesome too. Brandon, it was great chatting with you. Thank you so much for your time. Shout out to Jill and TJ, Nashville Entertainment Weekly, for continuing to be a helping hand to artists like yourself as far as promotion and getting you on these interviews and these music shows, man. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, brother. It's been awesome. Thanks so much for having me on, man.
All right, man. You enjoy your night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
All right, brother. You do the same. Thank you.
All right, bye bye.